Over the years there have been many arcade games ported to home console, some great, some not so great. In this new series I'm going to let you be the judge. My name is Adam and this is Crimson Death OX on the Sega Dreamcast. Let's get stuck in. Death Crimson OX, or is it Death Crimson Ox? I don't know. On the Sega Dreamcast is like an avant-garde art exhibit. You're not quite sure what's going on, but you can't look away. As a rail shooter, it aims to immerse you in a frantic whirlwind of chaos, and in that respect, it succeeds spectacularly. Imagine being handed a laser gun and thrust into a world where logic and coherence have taken a vacation. Graphically, the game has a certain charm. If by charm you mean a fever dream of mismatched textures and hyperactive enemy designs, the characters move with all the grace of marionettes on a caffeine binge, and the environments are a collage of surreal landscapes that seem borrowed from a Salvador Dali painting. The plot is a tapestry of incomprehensibility. Picture this. You're a protagonist who, between bouts of shooting at erratically moving targets, is trying to uncover some grand conspiracy. The storyline unfolds like a jigsaw puzzle where half the pieces are missing and the rest are chewed up by the dog. Despite, or perhaps because of, its many quirks, there's a hypnotic quality to Death Crimson OX. The soundtrack, an eclectic mix of techno beats and dramatic synths, adds to the game's frenetic energy. And the controls, well, they work. Sometimes. It's a bit like playing hopscotch with one leg tied behind your back. In the end, Death Crimson OX isn't just a game, it's an experience. A bizarre, head-scratching, occasionally infuriating experience that you'll remember long after you've put down the controller. It's not for everyone, but for those who appreciate the weird and wonderful, it's a trip worth taking. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much. If you're enjoying it, and if this is your thing, please remember to like the video and subscribe. It really helps out. But don't go anywhere just yet. Coming up next, I'm going to dive into Death Crimson OX's arcade roots. Death Crimson OX has its roots deeply embedded in the arcade scene, a vital part of its identity that influenced its design and gameplay mechanics significantly. Understanding these roots helps to appreciate the game's chaotic energy and rapid pacing. The game is a follow-up to the original Death Crimson, released on the Sega Saturn, but Death Crimson OX itself was initially developed as an arcade game. The developer aimed to capitalise on the popularity of rail shooters in the arcade scene. These games, known for their on-rails action and light gun mechanics, were immensely popular in the late 90s and early 2000s, with titles like Time Crisis and House of the Dead leading the charge. Arcade games are designed to be immediately engaging and challenging, encouraging players to insert coin after coin after coin to continue their adventure. Death Crimson OX inherited this philosophy, focusing on fast-paced action, high difficulty and replayability. The game's levels are short but intense, filled with waves of enemies that require quick reflexes and precise aiming to defeat. One of the key features of Death Crimson OX in the arcades was its use of a light gun. This peripheral allowed players to physically aim and shoot at the screen, providing an immersive and interactive experience. The Dreamcast version retained this functionality, compatible with the Dreamcast's light gun, which helped to recreate the arcade experience at home. This focus on light gun gameplay is a direct nod to its arcade heritage, where the tactile feedback and physical engagement are essential to the gameplay experience. Arcade games often feature vibrant, attention-grabbing visuals and dynamic soundtracks to stand out in noisy, crowded environments. Death Crimson OX is no exception. The game boasts a visually eclectic style with surreal environments and bizarre enemy designs, ensuring it captures the player's attention. The soundtrack, a mix of high-energy techno and dramatic synths, complements the fast-paced gameplay and enhances the overall sensory experience, much like a typical arcade setup. The arcade roots of Death Crimson OX also influenced its player engagement strategies. The game is designed to be approachable yet challenging, encouraging players to improve their skills through repeated playthroughs. High scores and performance rankings are a staple of arcade games, providing a competitive aspect that motivates players to keep playing and improving. This competitive element is retained in the Dreamcast version, where players can strive to beat their high scores and perfect their runs. Bringing an arcade game to a home console like the Dreamcast involves certain adjustments to suit the home gaming environment. While the core gameplay of Death Crimson OX remains true to its arcade roots, additional features such as a more comprehensive storyline and extended cutscenes were incorporated to provide a more substantial experience for home players. This transition also meant tweaking the difficulty curve and adding options like unlimited continues, making the game more accessible to a broader audience without losing its challenging nature. Death Crimson OX stands as a testament to the enduring appeal of arcade-style gameplay. Its transition from arcade to home console captures the essence of what made arcade games so compelling: fast-paced action, immediate engagement, and a focus on skill and precision. While the game may not have achieved critical acclaim, its unique blend of surreal aesthetics and intense gameplay has earned it a place in the hearts of those who appreciate the distinctive flavour of arcade shooters.